Stop. Before you scroll, answer one question. What if the most important political event of 2026 isn't an election at all? What if it's happening right now in a Senate hearing room and most of America is about to miss it? Todd Blanche confirmation hearing. 3 words that will decide whether the Department of Justice remains independent or becomes an arm of the White House. Let's take notice here, people. The questions senators are asking Todd Blanche today aren't just about him. They're about whether federal law enforcement will still exist as we know it after November. You didn't know this was happening because they don't want you to watch. Because what's being said in that room right now could change everything about how the law is enforced in America. And the outcome of this hearing doesn't just determine who runs the DOJ. It determines whether the 2026 midterm elections will be fought on a level playing field or whether the Department of Justice becomes a weapon. Here's what's actually happening. Todd Blanche is the acting Attorney General of the United States. He's been sitting in that chair since the previous AG resigned. And now the Senate has to decide whether to confirm him permanently. The contradiction. Blanche was Donald Trump's personal defense attorney. He represented the former president during the Manhattan criminal trial. He stood next to Trump in the courtroom and argued for his legal innocence. Now he's the top law enforcement officer in the country. Let that sink in. The same man who defended Trump against criminal charges is now responsible for deciding whether to investigate Trump's political opponents. This isn't a hypothetical. This is happening right now. And the senators questioning him aren't being polite about it. This changes everything about how you will experience the next 6 months of American politics. Because Todd Blanche isn't just a lawyer. He's the embodiment of a question that has haunted American democracy for 4 years. Can the Department of Justice be trusted to enforce the law fairly when the president's personal lawyer is running it? Let me walk you through what's actually happening in that hearing room. Todd Blanche was appointed as acting Attorney General after Merrick Garland's deputies stepped down. This is a temporary role, but the Senate has to confirm him to make it permanent. And the Senate Judiciary Committee is asking him questions that are designed to reveal one thing. Will he use the DOJ to protect the president or to enforce the law? Here's the first piece of proof, a specific document, a memo that leaked from the DOJ's internal communications just last week. In that memo, Blanche authorized aggressive leak investigations targeting government employees who spoke to the media. This isn't unusual on its face, but the language in that memo was extraordinary. He called for expedited investigative measures and full surveillance capabilities to identify the sources of leaks. Now, pause on that. The acting Attorney General authorized surveillance of his own employees, federal agents, whistleblowers, people who swore oaths to the Constitution. And he did it without oversight. This is the mechanism. The DOJ has the power to investigate anyone. It can subpoena records, tap phones, and monitor communications. When that power is directed at political enemies, the system becomes a weapon. And what makes this feel so personal is that if Blanche is confirmed, and I'm almost certain that he will be in charge of the DOJ during the 2026 midterm elections. He will have the authority to open investigations issue indictments, decide who gets prosecuted and who doesn't. And he will be answering directly to the president who appointed him, not to Congress, not to the American people, to the president. Let me tell you about a specific person who already felt the impact of this system. His name is John Doe. That's not his real name. His real name is protected by federal whistleblower laws. John was a mid-level DOJ employee, civil servant, non-political, 20 years of service. He'd never been accused of anything. He received a subpoena, not for his own conduct, for what he might have seen, heard, or might have told someone. The DOJ seized his personal phone. He was interrogated for 4 hours. They asked about his political views, his friends, and his voting history. He didn't do anything wrong. He was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And now he can't get a job. His reputation is destroyed. His family is in debt from legal fees. And nobody will tell him why he was targeted. This isn't one person. This is the architecture. When the DOJ becomes a political instrument, this is what happens. You don't need to break the law to be targeted. You just need to be in the way. And right now, in that hearing room, Todd Blanche is being asked whether he'll continue these aggressive leak investigations, whether he'll authorize more surveillance or go after more whistleblowers. The Senate is asking him to commit to independence, and he's refusing to answer. Now, check this out. This isn't just about Todd Blanche or the DOJ. This is about a pattern that has been building for years. Richard Nixon tried to use the DOJ against his enemies. He failed, but the playbook remains. Bill Clinton was investigated by a DOJ that operated independently. The investigation was brutal, but it was legal. George W. Bush's DOJ fired U.S. attorneys who didn't follow political orders. That was a scandal. Donald Trump's DOJ, led by Bill Barr, was accused of interfering in investigations. That was a scandal. Now, Todd Blanche is being asked if he will take it further. Now, I want you to recognize this. Every time the DOJ becomes politicized, the same thing happens. Investigations become selective. Enforcement becomes uneven. The public loses trust in the system. And when the public loses trust in the system starts to break, starting with the people. We become even more divided than we already were. You see this everywhere now. Polls show that less than 40% of Americans trust the Department of Justice. Less than 40%. That's not democracy. That's the death spiral of an institution. And this hearing is the moment where the Senate either reinforces that trust or destroys it completely. Here's what you now know that you didn't 30 minutes ago. Todd Blanche is facing confirmation today. The hearing is happening right now. The questions being asked are about whether he'll use the DOJ as a political weapon or a neutral enforcer. The stakes aren't abstract, they're personal. They determine whether your government can investigate you based on your politics, whether whistleblowers can speak without fear, whether the 2026 elections will be fought on a level playing field. The gift of understanding is this. You don't need to be a lawyer to see the pattern. You just need to pay attention. 3 questions to ask yourself as you watch this hearing unfold. 1. Are they asking about independence? The Senate is supposed to ask whether the nominee will follow the law, not the president. Listen to their questions. Are they getting answers? 2. Are they talking about oversight? The DOJ has internal watchdogs. Inspector generals, ethics officers, are they being ignored? 3. What do they say after the hearing? Watch the reactions. Watch who supports him and who opposes him. Those lines will tell you everything about the next 6 months. You have a choice now. You can watch this hearing or scroll past it. Care about the Department of Justice or simply assume it will all work out. But please, understand, the Todd Blanche confirmation hearing isn't just about Todd Blanche. It's about whether you trust the system that enforces the law. And if you don't trust it, what are you going to do about it? The Senate isn't asking you for permission, but they're supposed to be your voice. And they're deciding right now whether your voice matters. So, here's the choice. Do you stay informed or do you let it happen to you? Because this hearing won't be the last one. There will be another confirmation hearing and another and another. And each one will ask the same question. Will the law be enforced fairly for everyone? Or will it be enforced for the powerful and against the powerless? You don't get to choose the outcome of the hearing, but you do get to choose whether you pay attention. And paying attention is the first step to protecting yourself. The door is open. Walk through it. Until next time.